Hi, Pep. You were really happy with Erling Haaland the last game, with sort of his contribution, the way he created the goal, etc. Is that something which is to how he's evolving as a player, or is it related to how the team is evolving under you? You know, with him creating a bit more, or am I being unfair? Has he always been a very creative sort of player?
It's a question for him. I try to do my best for all the players. Normally, the players who play a lot of minutes are both from themselves, just for the fact the experience to play games. After the games, I don't have to tell them what they have done, the experience for themselves, and the other ones that don't play much or then less, of course, they miss a lot. So the managers always help the players that normally play. If they don't play, we cannot help them. Unfortunately, we cannot do it all of them. But always, as I said, he's a young player just since arrived. Then it depends of him in that case, can improve his game.
So tactically, you're kind of more playing the same way you always have done here. Your team?
But tactically is in terms of the team. So it's a question for him, but this is the team. What do we want to play? We want to do it. And of course, they can be agree or disagree, but we try to do it to make all of them, always I said, so I try to make Erling is close to the box to score goals. There's no more tactics than that. And the team will help to him to score goals. It depends on the team.
Hi, Pep. Facing Madrid again after facing them already, Benfica played Real as well in the group stage as well. Is it the kind of repetition of fixtures? Do you think that's a flaw in this new system?
Yeah, it's a little bit weird. Normally it doesn't happen. No, with the last game of group stage, Benfica Real Madrid in the first draw, Real Madrid Benfica looks like different, I would say. People will be agree, disagree, but it's different. Yeah.
I think in international games, in international tournaments, they have a way that if you can't play them twice. If you
why not?
And do you think that'd be a fairer way?
Always in the Premier League. How many times we play against Newcastle this season?
Yeah.
Hopefully we can play in the finals against them. So so it's happened. So many. Today is different. So the Champions League, when I started, was 8 teams, 9 teams, 10 teams. That are a lot. They want to increase a lot, and the schedules, the calendar. So it's a question of that. So that Madrid draw. What can we do?
Thank you, Son.
Pep, the players have had some rest midweeks this week and last week, but there's also been time for you on the training pitch. Do you feel like you've done what you wanted to do with the players these last 2 weeks?
No, there are things that still we should train and practice more, but I prioritize the rest than the training.
And do you think there will be a time for you to practice those other things, or is this it now for the rest of the season?
Listen, it's 3 months left. There are many things that the team improve. Still, there are things in some departments you have to improve. But now it's the little details, because apparently, for most of the cases, we talk many times about the same concepts. In my point of view, what now is how is in your brain and your mind will make the difference. So, because we talk a lot, many meetings for many years for the new players, maybe new, but when arriving the last 3 months of the competition when being there everything is here.
Hi, Pep. Obviously, Erling last weekend had another battle with Dan Burn. It's always a big centre-back when he goes head-to-head with them. How important is it to have him as somebody to aim for, obviously with man-to-man marking, but just any time you need an outball like that, how important is it to have Haaland ready to get into those battles?
Yeah, it's really important, but we have to try to use it as less as possible, even with man marking. So we have to make an alternative, not in man marking, it's long balls against Erling and Barn. Otherwise, every 3 days doing that for a striker like Erling is unsustainable. So we have to make an alternative to try still have a dream to play and play and play more. That we are playing sometimes, even man marking, that is difficult.
The last 2 weeks, obviously, you've had time off, but when you've come back into training, is that what you've been working on, that build-up that you talked about recently? The first pass from the goalkeeper to the centre-back and then out, is that's what you're talking about, isn't it?
No, I don't take for granted. It's so difficult. Before, always they allow you to make one centre defender against 2 against the striker, or 3 against 2, and now it's not possible. Tomorrow is same with Ellen Road. marking, and we play in Newcastle. It's happened. I saw a few clips of Nottingham Forest with a new manager. Always it happened against Liverpool. So that is a reality. So most of the teams playing that way, you have to adapt. An alternative, when they happen, the alternative, you have to play quicker up front. If you win that ball, is a chance. We have incredible 4 or 5 or 6 chances against Newcastle that we miss the last pass, where we can run. You know, when the team is brave to go 1 against 1, if you can make some combination to win that ball, you can run. Saying that is not easy, because it's a safer pass at 2 meters than 30 meters. The 30 meters is more difficult pass. The pass is safer with the 2-3 meters. But always we try to find a way to not just use Erling or striker in that position. Have to be more variation and predictable for our game, to drop them, and after that make another type of game. Because in that moment when they drop them, after it's like this, no, defend so high man to man, and after so deep in the box. They are not middle blocks, or they are not much process to do it, and many teams. But we are working on it.
Hi Pep, as well as Madrid, did you have a look at what sort of, on the other side of Madrid, the rest of the draw? You said if it was going to be Newcastle, it'd only be the final. You seem to be in the much harder half of the draw than maybe Arsenal.
We'll be so respectful. For example, Newcastle, Barcelona, top teams, PSG and Atletico Madrid or Spurs. And I saw Atalanta against Dortmund a while. We played at 6:45, and the rhythm they played quite similar to Gasperini before. So I'm not fan of that. Now everybody, Bodo Glimt is top, right? Bodo Glimt now is, oh my God, what a team. Yeah? Before we play, you already saw on all the fans 20 games of Bodo Glimt before to analyze that team. So Champions League is so difficult in any team. I'm not saying Madrid is it's not difficult, everybody knows it, but the rest of the teams that you play, I don't know, give me any team. All of them, they have the trick. If you want to go through in this competition right now, you have to win the best teams. Otherwise, you don't deserve it.
And just one more, Pep. The chairman of the PFA was talking this week about how Chelsea are very tired, shattered, I think he said, after sort of blaming it a little bit on the Club World Cup. Do you think that's been a factor here at all? You've had a lot of injuries yourself. The Club World Cup, do you think
Absolutely
it's... No? You don't think the injuries are anything to do with that? You know,
last season I had more and didn't have World Cup.
Yeah.
So I'm fine. It's fine.
Hi, Pep. I think this will be 13 times you've played Real Madrid since you've been here.
Here, we're in Manchester.
Well, you've been in Manchester, yeah. It's become one of the big, glamorous European fixtures, Man City versus Real Madrid. How important, looking back over your 10 years, how important has it been to establish City as you always use the phrase, you're always there, you're always in the quarterfinals or the semi-finals, whether you win it this year or not? How big an achievement has it been to make City absolutely. Sort of a big Champions League regular?
As much you play with the elite clubs in Europe, and nobody can deny that Madrid is one of them. So his experience is prestigious, his knowledge is how you handle it. So when you have been many times, and as much you play with the big teams, you are a better team. I don't have doubts. If, for example, you have a team that you lose. As much you play, you will learn to win. And that is the point. At the end, it will be a true difficult game. So the quality they have, but since I was football player and after managing Barcelona, Bayern Munich, and here, always Madrid had the exceptional players. So there's no doubt about that. And just to see, it's different because before was Xabi Alonso, now is Arbeloa there. So we have to see. But I would say, no, I have time. No, it's maybe in 10 days. No, in 2 weeks, more or less, we have the game. So, but now is Ellen Road, and after midweek, Nottingham, and you have a FA Cup, Newcastle, and after Newcastle, we have time to think about Madrid.
And can I just check, have you had a date yet from the FA about Rodri's hearing? Rodri is facing that FA charge for his comments. Nothing yet.
He always make an incredible meeting before and tell me the subjects, and didn't tell me anything about that.
That's what the chat.
Hi, Pep. You were talking about the players being brave on the ball and picking the right pass in the final third or when you're attacking earlier. How do they improve at that? What can you do? What do they do to sort of elevate them in that respect?
Too hectic. Have to be more. Always you have time. In football, always you have time. So good pass, good control, don't be. It's not easy because the space is meaner and the decisions have. You take a decisions in in the middle when the low blocks you have time to think. And if the strikers don't have time, the defenders are aggressive, and we know that. But question improve, another aspect improve. We have a lot of this season's actions for 1 against 1 or 2 against 2 or even 3 against 2 in our favor or 4 against 2 in our favor. We didn't finish it well. So just question. We show it, relax, and make a good pass, make a good shoot, and that's all. Always had the feeling have one portion of time, 1 second, that you believe we don't have time. Always you have a frame of time that you can take a better decision. Well, thank you, guys.